In the Senate, for example, the average Senate district has roughly 300,000 people. Under the practice in New York, you're allowed a variation in population of anywhere from plus or minus 5%, basically a 10% range. So in state Senate districts, the districts that have the largest populations in them have 30,000 more people in the district than the populations with the smallest. That's a huge difference. To give you some context, on the congressional lines, when those lines are drawn, the population difference is one person. Roughly 650,000 people in the congressional district. The population range when map makers made those maps in 2002 was the variance was one person. The district with the most people had one more person in it than the district that had the fewest. Yet in state Senate districts, there's a 30,000 population difference, and in assembly districts, corresponding size, roughly 12,500. So that's one key finding. We believe that undermines the principle of one person, one vote. In a representative democracy, your vote is supposed to be the same as mine, but in districts where there are 30,000 more people in it, we think that undermines it. Also on page 5, we looked at, going forward from page 5 through 6 and 7, when the lines are drawn, they're really drawn with a way to minimize the number of districts that have a competitive, close enrollment. We found in our analysis of 212 legislative districts that only 25 had district populations that were close in terms of enrollment between Democrats and Republicans. And while I'll be the first to concede that in places like the city of New York you can find more telephone poles than Republicans, or in upstate you can find more cows than Democrats, we don't believe that in only 11% of the population are the enrollments close. You go to a lot of suburban areas in New York State, those enrollments are relatively close, and we don't think it's reflected in the district lines. The reason for that, again, is to minimize the number of competitive races, which denies New York voters choices when it comes to Election Day. And that's why you see so many incumbents being reelected over time. On page 8,